Octagon boxes next, and this is really nice. So you can see that these are exactly the same files. This one's been done from the net and this one has been done from the resize files. But how fabulous that you could stack them all inside. You could have a whole load of fabulous Octagon boxes, and look how different they look with the different panels. So again, if you haven't watched the education, you've got 30 options of panels just by going into Canvas Workspace, and I teach you how to do it too, so you don't need to be scared. Right, let's crack on with this then. So 2 nets. This is what I call the net, and you can see you have a base octagon and your sides all glue around the outside edge. So I've gone ahead and done some of these because you will have seen me in a lot of these, already done these. So we've got the base and then the sides that go around. Okay, so I've got one more side to put on. But rather than you sitting there watching me glue 8 sides, because an octagon box is probably one that you've made the most, it's the most familiar. So I'm just going to position the last one into there like that, okay, like so. Then you also have a base reinforcer that goes in there, and I can't remember whether or not you've got side reinforcers. I'll have a look, see if you have. Yes, it looks like there might be, but if not, you've got these sturdy panels on the outside as well. Okay, so I'm going to put this together now. So I'm going to turn this over, and I've made sure that I'm not worried about there not being any tape down the right hand side of the tab, but I need it to be right up to the perforation line on the top edge, if you like, because that's the bit that's going to glue the sides together. So remember, when you're putting these on, a straight edge will always go to a tab. Straight edge tab, straight edge tab, all the way around the box. So make sure that when you're sticking them on, you stick them on the right way around, okay? And I know that because I've done it several times, not on this one, but on previous boxes that I've made. So I thought I'd give you the heads up, because it's easily done. There. And the next one, so always make sure that your tab is nice and scored down, so it's nice tight score line. Get rid of that little thing off there. Tuck it in. As long as you don't press down really hard at the beginning, you can have a little bit of movement with red liner tape. Press down, lining up your edges. And the more sides there are, the more accurate you have to be, because there's more points for it to go wrong. So just take your time. It's not difficult, you just have to concentrate on what you're doing, that's all. And then the last one, you're going to pop inside, and that gives you your box base. Could have been a bit more accurate on a couple of those sides, but you know what, for now it'll do. So that's your box base, and then you've got your reinforcer that goes inside, and you'd glue that into place. Okay, so that's that part done. Let's bring in the next net. So your lid here, and then you've got all your side pieces that are going to glue around there. So you've got your little tab that's going to glue your side and your reinforcer, and this time the tabs are on the outside of that lid. Okay, now I've used a narrower tape for this because the tabs were narrower, so don't just buy one width of red liner tape. When you see them on offer, get the different sizes because you're going to need them at some point. And there's nothing worse, let me tell you, than having one that's too wide and you have to then try and trim it back, because like I said before, don't fold it over because it adds bulk. But oh, trying to cut it off with a pair of scissors is not good. And then when you're doing this, make sure that your tab, your little triangle, is facing in the same direction on every side. Okay. Oh, got two stuck together there. Hello, bear with. There we go. Life of its own, that one. Right. And I find it easier to take a backing off, stick a side down, take the next backing off, stick the next side down. But whatever works for you. That's it. Next one. Right, put it flat, Melanie. There we go. And your next side. So what I like to do is got all my pieces cut, but that might be because I was labelling them. You're not going to label yours because you won't want to see it. So you might want to cut the lid, then cut the sides and glue those on, then cut the reinforcer and glue that in. You'll know what makes sense in your brain and how methodical you are. This whole USB was about giving you as much versatility as possible. Right, so then I need to just tuck that one under there, like that. And then the last one is going to go onto there, like that. Okay, so now we're ready to work on our little, just going to give those a good burnish down. Remember, this bit's going to fold underneath and that bit's going to fold over, so it gives you that rigidity in the lid, because again, that's the piece that's going to be handled the most. Right, so I like to turn it towards me, push the one on the right back with my finger, put a blob of glue, and then use my finger to just dab that out and then tuck that underneath. Get these bits done first and then we'll go back and do the reinforcers after. Okay, tuck that one back, blob of glue, and you really don't need a lot at all, but I find it nice just to spread it out with my finger. Gives me a thinner layer. It means it grabs quicker and enables me to carry on. So a nice firm press like that, or you could use your reverse tweezers if you want to, just to squeeze that in place, or I don't think little craft pegs would work with this. So that on there, that over. Could have been a bit more accurate there, Melanie, but you will take more time at home. Nice firm press. And just work your way all the way around, like so. Make sure that glue goes right up into the corners and along the edges. Nice tight grip. Next one. Just working your way around and just making sure that you're getting them nice and straight. Don't forget they're going to have decorative panels on them, so if they're a little bit out, the eye will be distracted by those as well. But do try and get it as accurate as possible. And the last one, I'm going to get our glue on. I'm going to pat it down. And then we're going to lift that up so that that tab goes underneath. And that then goes on that last side. Not done too bad there to say we're doing it in time restraints, like that. And then I find it easier to bend these back. So these are your reinforcers, remember. So bend them all back so you've got space to work, and then just go around, and you can just put a little bit of glue on the sides and the top edge. That will be enough to hold it in place, and then you're going to work around and tuck all those in, and that will give you more strength on that lid. So you'll go around, I'm not going to glue them all because that really will be boring for you to watch. But they go all the way around like that, tucking them all in. Then you end up with a nice sturdy lid like this. Okay, now on this box you will find that the lid is quite loose when you put it on, even with the decorative panels, because we didn't know whether you would want to put the decoration on the inside as well. So we left a little bit of wiggle room so that you can see it's got a little bit of movement in it. If that bothers you, and I must admit it doesn't bother me at all, but if it bothers you, when you bring on the shapes, the pieces for the lid, just knock 1 millimetre off. So just reduce each piece down the sides and the lid by 1 mil or 2 mil, and that will give you a tighter fitting lid. But because we didn't know what weight of card you were going to use, we've had to make it bigger in case you put in any dimension on there or anything. So that's why it's a little bit movement. It's not like it's going to fall off every time you pick it up. But if you think, oh, that's a bit big, you can just knock it back a bit, but I'm quite happy with it. Right, I'll pop these away and I'll get on with the next one.